Wow, I can't believe it. 10 episodes already. Where does the time go? But this is no ordinary episode. This is a very special 10th episode. The Mr. Beautiful Cybertron beauty pageant. As a rule, I find beauty pageants a bit distasteful. They parade out human beings kind of like they're a side of beef, and they're all ranked by some of the most mummified old men to still be technically alive. But when you take human beings out of the equation, and just have an adult dork rank all of his favorite toys of Optimus Prime, things become a lot more digestible, don't they? So please, take your seats. The Optimi are approaching the stage, and don't they look beautiful? We'll rank every single one of them, from worst to best. Somebody had to come in last place, and I wish I could say that this was a hard choice, but this Prime did not come correct. While his articulation is okay, and the transformation and vehicle mode are acceptable, these dull as dishwater colors do absolutely no favor to this mold, and it needs all the favors it can get. The only really cool thing about him are the cool Energon swords. This backpack is less impressive than Optimus Primes of this design, designed 10 years ago. Get him off the stage, what a disgrace. The only award I feel confident giving this complete loser is least convincing chest windows. Those pitiful ribbons do not provide the necessary coverage for a real Prime. Oh look, it's the same guy as last time, except better in every imaginable way. So why is he in second last? Well, exactly like the last guy, he was made completely obsolete by a new figure that came out just a few months later. We Transformers fans sure are suckers, aren't we? While he's actually a great figure in his own right, and his combination with Jetfire looks and works really well, he was pretty much completely obsolete by the time he came out. The only award I can give this fellow in good conscience is quickest case of buyer's remorse. Get off the stage, you bum! From this point forward, things got really rough. I love every one of these figures, and it was really hard trying to rank them. I gave this guy rave reviews in my first ever video, and I stand by it. So why is he this low on the list? Well, he's just too small. I guess I'm just that guy. Optimus should just be a little big to me. Doesn't plastic that's like 15% not as good as the other Optimuses? He's still a great toy, but not everybody can come in first. He easily takes the prize for smallest Optimus, but he still looks crushed. Tough break, Tiny. That's show business. Objectively, on its own merits, this is not a particularly good Optimus. His proportions are far too chunky and massive for a gentle leader type. It's no question that this big chunky truck was originally made as the jerk-ass Motormaster and then turned into Optimus Prime at a later date. It's actually more like Motormaster wearing Optimus Prime cosplay than an actual Optimus. The combined mode is just good fun and very awesome. And between the color of the limbs and the chest detail, this is clearly meant to be an Energon homage. And how often do we get callbacks to the Unicron trilogy? Personally, I won't be looking a gift horse in the mouth. Frankly, you shouldn't look in any horse's mouths. It's very unclean. First we had the smallest, now we have the recipient for the biggest Optimus reward. I hope he doesn't take getting ranked so low personally. I think he could probably beat me. Another Optimus that was clearly designed as another character first, but then made into an Optimus later. But I think this one works a little bit better. Shoulder pylons and oil tanker mode bring to mind G2 Laser Optimus Prime. Both alt modes are pretty decent, and he has some nice proportions. His translucent Energon yellow sword easily cinches the award for coolest weapon. Not a bad prize at all, if it has to be a runner-up prize. My beloved very first Optimus Prime. Despite engineering coming quite a long way since I got him, he still holds up great. He's got tons of features and is just a great fun toy to play with. I said as much in my first ever review. To that lovely bulky boy, I give the award of First Prime. And he's glad to have it. Starting to get into the higher tiers now. I don't have much to say about this guy besides what I've already said in my first video. He's just really cool, look at him. Amazing wings, an anime-ass head crest, I present him the award for most glorious Optimus Prime. Ain't he a peach? Oh, the original Optimus Prime, and he's still goated with the sauce. Out of all the G1 toys, this is probably one of the best, and he still feels extremely good to handle to this day. The only reason he doesn't rank even higher is because of slightly wonky proportions and limited posability. But he cinches the award for the most influential Optimus Prime. He is the blueprint. Oh, that's right, I went there. People in the Transformers community tend to hate on this mold a lot for not being the way more G1 accurate Earthrise mold that came out like the next year, but I think this guy is great in his own right and easily justifies his existence. I think I would have liked it if we got Cybertron and Earth modes for each of the characters. I wouldn't have minded at all. Sure, he has a little bit of back kibble. I think it's worth it for that sick Cybertronian vehicle. He's a hell of a contender, beauty marks and all, and I award him the award for least deserved hate. Come on guys, give him a chance, won't you? Easily the best Bayverse Prime toy I own, And he'd better be, considering he was the third version to come out in Studio Series. This one makes the first and second completely redundant. He even has a swappable chest part so you could take his robot abs and replace them with the part needed to combine with Revenge of the Fallen Jetfire. He also has a really cool trailer that transforms into a weapon storage bay. Now, I will always stick up for the Bayverse designs for Optimus Prime. Except for the Knight designs, that design is mid. But when you think of live-action Optimus Prime, you were probably picturing more something like this. Thankfully, they didn't throw the baby out with the bathwater, and he still has a plethora of beautiful mechanical detail like a Bayverse bot, just on a more recognizable chassis. I love this toy so much. He excels in every area a Transformers toy should. Great transformation, great posability, looks awesome in both modes. Simple as. What is there to say? You're a discerning audience, you know beautiful when you see it. He gets the award for the best live-action Prime design. This is the complete package, a faithful G1 Optimus in his most iconic design, with a full-featured trailer. My only complaint about the trailer is it's a little small to fit most Autobots. You can still load it up with an assload of Micromasters. You always have to appreciate a general that can deliver his troops into battle. He's a true beauty, the best in show, and he gets the winner for Best Prime. Well, wasn't that a fun one? 10 episodes already, and I strive to make 100 more. Every single video I get better and better, like a fine vintage. Fraz out.